You want to have $5 or $10 or $15,000 of passive income coming in every month in 5 years, which is a very achievable goal, right? If you follow the agent investor model, just selling real estate, the odds of you ever retiring, the odds of you retiring well, the odds of you getting off the real estate roller coaster by just selling real estate are very, very low. Welcome everybody to Agent Investor, the only brand that helps real estate agents get off the real estate roller coaster and helps real estate agents become wealthy by not only investing in real estate, but by combining real estate sales and real estate investing. And that's actually what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the fundamental reason why most real estate agents who sell real estate, even the ones that sell a lot of homes, never become financially independent, never become wealthy, never get off that real estate roller coaster, and why most agents who implement the agent investor model do eventually become wealthy over time, and why it's just such an easier path. So I want to just start out by saying that, if you're listening to this right now, if you're listening to this message right now, you obviously want more for your life. You may be okay, you may be happy, in general, but you want more, right? You want to make life better for yourself, your family, the people that you care about, etc. And you want to keep growing, right? So I'm going under the assumption that if you're listening to this right now, you want to become financially independent, you want to become financially free, you want to take more steps up in your life, because if not, selling real estate and just selling real estate is probably okay. You can make, a good amount of money just selling real estate. You'll probably never become financially free. And if that's not important to you, then I guess you could kind of just tune this out right now because it's not going to be relevant. But for those who are listening, who do want to become financially free, who do want to build a legacy, who do want more for themselves and their family, this specific message is for you. So I want to first talk about why most real estate agents never become wealthy, even top producing agents. But I want to first start with just agents in general. So most people who get into this industry, and if you've been in this industry for long enough, you know that most real estate agents who get their real estate license never even make it in the industry at all, meaning that they don't become lifelong real estate agents. And the reason is simple. I mean, this business, selling homes, is difficult. It's not an easy business. It's not a business for everybody. So the vast majority of new agents who get their license 2 or 3 or 4 years later, and a lot of times even sooner, are never in the business because they can never do enough transactions to pay their bills, right? So that's a simple one. Again, I think if you've been in this industry for long enough, you've seen so many new agents go in and out of the industry. Obviously, if you get your real estate license and you don't even make enough money to pay your bills, you can't become wealthy through selling real estate. That's pretty simple. So I'll leave kind of those people out. The next thing is the agents who do, sell, a good amount of houses, right? And that's the vast majority of full-time agents. They sell enough houses typically to kind of pay their bills. Depending on what market you're in, that might mean you're selling between 10 and maybe 40 or 50 houses in a year. Obviously, commissions are kind of different in every market, and everybody has different expenses. I know in my market, I'm in the greater Boston area. In general, if you don't sell 10 houses a year, it's going to be really hard to even kind of afford to live, right? So assuming that the average commission is 10 grand and you're, making money on your own and you don't have anybody else supporting you, making, 6 figures in greater Boston nowadays is kind of like what you need to kind of pay your bills. So, if you're selling 10 or 15 or 20 houses in my market, you're probably just making enough money to pay your bills. And if you look at the statistics, and I do, because I'm a broker owner, I've got over 400 agents that work in my brokerage. And as part of owning a brokerage and being a broker owner, you run statistics of agents to see hey, who should I be talking to potentially move over to my company? Who sells a lot of homes? And when you actually look at that, and when you actually think about the agents that sell more houses than is required just to pay their bills, and I'm going to call that in my market 25, 30 plus houses in a year, the list of the amount of agents that actually do that type of volume are extremely low. And when I say extremely low, like it's less than 1% of all agents. So I'm saying this because, we're talking about how do you become financially free? How do you become wealthy through just selling real estate? And I'm kind of making the base case that it's really, really tough, almost impossible. This smallest fraction of agents do it, right? We have somewhere around 30,000 agents in my market, and less than 500 agents sell enough homes to actually save money, right? So if you can't save money, therefore you can't build wealth, right? If you're making $80,000 a year and you're spending $80,000 a year and you're just selling homes, obviously you're not building your wealth at all. You're on the real estate roller coaster, and it's really tough, right? So like I said, less than a few hundred agents in my market do that, right? And then once you get down to those agents, which is just a small fraction of all agents in my market, then those agents have to live below their means, right? Because you could have an agent who makes 200 or 300 or $500,000 a year that still spends two or three or $500,000 a year. So you've got to be in that elite class, that small fractional class of agents that sell a ton of homes. Then you have to live below your means, and then you have to invest money, right? So if you look and you kind of keep going down that funnel, like you start at the very top with 30,000 agents, you go, okay, how many agents actually sell enough homes to save money? Okay, geez, that shrinks really down. That might be a few hundred to at most 1,000 in my market. Then out of those people that do actually, sell enough homes to save money, how many of them are living below their means to actually save money? Okay, that shrinks down again. The funnel shrinks again. And then at the very bottom, how many of those people that are actually saving money are then investing it to build wealth? Because even if you say, right, even if you say I'm saving $50,000 a year, right? And all you do is save $50,000 a year, and your career is 30 years. At the end, you've got $1.5 billion, which sounds kind of like a lot of money, but 30 years from now, it probably won't be, right? So we're talking about agents that just sell houses, don't invest in real estate, et cetera. So again, to kind of make my point here, it is very, very challenging to sell enough homes, to then save money, to then invest. And again, we're comparing that to agents who combine selling and investing together. So when I say in general, and I say this a lot, that agents don't get wealthy, sales will make you a living, investing will make you wealthy. Sales will make you a living is what happens for the vast majority of successful agents. They just make enough money to survive. Maybe they save a couple dollars, but that's really it. What I'm talking about, investing will make you wealthy, and combining sales and investing together, which is what we preach at Agent Investor. We're talking about the vast majority of agents who can do this, right? We're talking about the amount of agents that sell enough homes to make a living, right? Or have some other form of income that makes them a living, and they're combining selling real estate with investing in real estate. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second, and why, that's so crucial and so critical. And I want to talk a little bit about what I call the agent investor model. Now, I just name it that, right? The sequence and the steps that I'm going to talk about, the three steps that I'm going to talk about, are something that a lot of people have done way before I coined this term. And the three steps that I'm going to talk about are things that people have been doing well before I was born, well before I was alive. I just call it the agent investor model. And I specifically talk to real estate agents who, sell homes for a living, but then invest to get wealthy, and how you kind of combine the two, which is really unique, by the way. Not that you can't follow this model if you're not a real estate agent, But real estate agents have a unique advantage when following the agent investor model because real estate agents come across great deals by accident. They're in houses by accident. They understand the basics of investing by accident. They have the ability to run and go out and look at a deal because they've got the freedom of their time, much more so than the average person. In fact, I used to run a real estate investing coaching program that I called Deals on Demand from 2017 to about 2019. What I kind of found over and over again, and why I changed the name of my business to Agent Investor, is I found over and over again that agents were not only had a much more competitive advantage when it came to investing, but that they understood all the basics. Like, I would have people who would sign up for my coaching program that didn't know anything about real estate at all. And those people were so much harder to teach. It was such more of an uphill battle than real estate agents in general. So again, let's talk about kind of combining that model. Like, what does that look like? And how can real estate agents kind of become wealthy without putting in a lot of more time, effort, and energy than they're already doing? So I'm going to talk about the 3 steps really quickly. Step number 1 of the agent investor model is to continue selling real estate to pay your bills. There's no reason to stop doing that. It's how you pay your bills. It's how you pay your mortgage. It's how you pay your car payment. And, for the part-time agents that are out there, like keep your day job, keep selling real estate part-time, keep the source of income that's necessary in order to pay your bills, in order to survive, in order to build wealth through real estate investing. You don't need to do anything crazy. You don't need to completely change your life. That's what the agent investor model is all about. So step number 1 is keep that income source, keep pumping it, keep making money, keep selling homes, and keep doing it to make a living. Step number 2 is to fix and flip homes. And when I say fix and flip homes, you guys don't have to have the money yourself. You don't need to know how to do construction because, as you know, we've got our agent partnership model. For those of you who are not aware of our agent partnership model, you can find out all about that by jumping on my weekly call by going to www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. But the high level, of it is that if you come across a deal as a real estate agent and you refer it over to us, we'll buy it, we'll renovate it, we'll resell it, and we'll split the profits with you 50-50. In fact, on the day that we buy the house, we're actually now willing to give some of that profit upfront to the agent. Okay? Which is an amazing deal. Of course, I know everybody who knows about it believes that it's an amazing deal, or you could just flip the houses yourself, right? The average profit on the fix and flips that we split with agents on average is $80,000. Of course, we have ones that are way more, ones that are way less, but that's step number 2. Why is that so important? Why is it super important that you flip houses? And why did I even start flipping houses? Because back in 2005, when I got my real estate license, I had no interest in flipping homes. In fact, I'm one of these people. I've flipped close to 1,500 homes, but yet I don't watch HGTV. I'm not super into flipping homes, but I flip homes because it's a means to an end, which is my financial freedom. So why do I flip homes? Flipping homes gives you big chunks of income. We talk all the time about real estate agents being on the real estate roller coaster, right? Your income is always going up and down and up and down. And most agents are just fighting and struggling to pay their bills, right? So that begs the question, if you're just fighting and struggling to pay your bills and you're not saving up enough money, how in the world could you ever invest in real estate? And the answer is it's really difficult, if not impossible. So you fix and flip for big chunks of income to then invest in passive assets, which pay you forever, which are actually the thing that builds wealth. Okay. So step number 2 is to find fix and flip deals, either do them on your own or to partner with us. Now, I'm going to talk just really quickly about finding them. I talk in much more detail about how to find these deals on my weekly call, which you should register for at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. But I'll say this, Agents come across these deals by accident. Sometimes you don't realize that you came across a deal because you're not looking for it, which is part of why we teach and train agents on how to do this. But most real estate agents come across one or two or three flip deals in a year by accident. Well, maybe by accident is the wrong word. They come across one or two or three flips a year in their normal course of business. This is why the agent investor model is so powerful, because it doesn't require you to do anything really big outside of what you normally do. A lot of times when people tell me that I can't invest in real estate right now, I don't have the time. Well, when you follow the agent investor model, you don't need a lot more time. You just have to be aware of what a deal is, how to find them, and just implement some basic strategies that we talk about on that call. So, step number one, sell homes for a living. Keep selling them, keep paying your bills, do what you're doing. Step number two, learn how to find fix and flip opportunities, which, by the way, is not going to take you a long time to figure out how to do it once you jump on that call with me. And then either do the flips on your own. You don't need us to do the flips, or partner with us on some, do some on your own, or partner with us on any of them. And take those. The step number three is the most important one. Step number three is to take those big chunks of income that you earn fixing and flipping homes and investing it into passive assets. If you've not read the book Cash Flow Quadrant, or you don't know much about the power of owning or investing in rental real estate, it is really, I'm going to do my best in a 5-minute span to kind of describe it. But I'll say this, it is the exact investing in long-term rental real estate is the exact opposite of being on the real estate roller coaster. When you're on the real estate roller coaster and you wake up, right? We're almost at the end of 2024. When you wake up on January 1st, 2025, you've got no income coming in, right? Like, you have to earn all of your real estate sales over and over again. When you own and operate or invest in syndications of long-term passive real estate, every single month you get paid regardless of how hard you worked, right? That is one of the hallmarks of investing in passive long-term real estate. I'm going to talk quickly about some of the benefits of investing in long-term rental real estate, but there's a reason that there's a saying by Dale Carnegie that I'm going to screw up the saying, but basically that more millionaires have been created through investing in real estate than any other mechanism. And that's true. And I will prove it out to you right now. If you think about and you write down on a piece of paper all the millionaires that you know, and then on the left-hand side, you write down their names. On the right-hand side, you write down how they got wealthy. I guarantee that a vast majority of them, or a good number of them, either got wealthy through owning real estate, or they got wealthy through some other mechanism and now they own a bunch of real estate. Okay. So don't take my word for it. Look at your own life situation. More millionaires are created through the ownership of rental real estate. Why is that? It's simply math. It is how the math works with assets. A lot of people over the past few years have been really hurt by inflation. Inflation is a really tough thing. It's not a great thing. I mean, there's no real positive to it. But people who own assets benefit from inflation, right? So the fact that rent has gone up so much, I mean, it is crazy. There are buildings that I bought where we took them over. We were getting $700 a month in rent that are now $2,500, $2,600. And I'm only 42 years old. I mean, I'm not that old where those numbers should be kind of so out of whack. So I do want to talk about why rental real estate and investing in rental real estate kind of almost can, I hate to use the word guarantee because there are no guarantees in life, but how it kind of like puts all the math in your favor, right? How it becomes a math equation. But before I do that, I just want to say that you don't necessarily always need to own and operate the asset. So sometimes what agents and other people worry about is that, well, geez, I get it. Owning rental real estate is a really good idea, but I don't want to be the one managing it. I don't want to be the one responsible for it. You don't have to be, right? If you do these fix and flip deals, and you get big chunks of income, you can invest in other people's assets. Like we have a fund where people invest money into our fund. If they want to get a really good rate of return, if they want to earn passive income, but don't want to own and operate the asset. So just keep that in mind that you don't always have to own and operate the asset to get the benefit of long-term rental real estate. But for those of you who are interested in the long-term rental real estate part of it, and even if you invest in syndications, it's important to even understand how this works. So what are the benefits and why is the math so much in your favor? Okay, so first of all, you buy long-term rental real estate, you should be earning positive cash flow on day one. What I'm going to give you right now is just a ballpark number, but it's a decent ballpark number to use. Like in my market, in the assets that I own, we earn about $500 per month every month for every door that we have. So if we own a 2-family building, on average, we're earning about $1,000 a month. We own a 3-family building, we're earning on average $1,500 per month. Passive income is super important if you're a real estate agent because you don't have any guaranteed money coming in every month. What does this mean? This means that if you own, call it like 4 3-family pieces of real estate, that's 12 units times $500 per month. That's $6,000 per month or $72,000 per year, right? So by owning 4 buildings on average, you're going to have that $72,000 a year coming in. And I'm just giving you numbers kind of off the cuff, right? Obviously, you can work the math however you want, but it's even better than that because I'm telling you and I'm quoting you a $500 per month average, but that's when you buy the property, right? So your debt typically stays fixed. Your monthly mortgage, your monthly interest cost typically stays fixed, but your rents go up. So if you owned and operated 4 3-families today where you had 12 total units and you were earning $6,000 a month right now, in a few years, that's going to be $8,000. In a few more years, that's going to be $10,000 without you really doing much of anything. And again, inflation is not a great thing, but inflation pushes up rents. It also is a factor in pushing up prices. Okay. Why is pushing up prices important? Well, pushing up prices on rentals actually, number one, it increases our net worth. And of course, if we were to ever sell the asset, you put that money in your pocket. But over time, as these assets increase in value, you are then able to pull money out of those assets tax-free and then buy more assets with it. So I talked about like owning, just as an example, 4 3-family buildings. Well, 3 or 4 or 5 years later, you're going to be able, assuming that the market keeps going up, and over a long enough period of time, that should happen. You're going to be able to pull lines of credit to then use as down payments on more assets, right? So we talked about 2 benefits. Number 1, cash flow. Number 2, appreciation. Actually, 3 benefits. What do you do with the appreciation, right? You get to use it to buy more assets, to compound that monthly income that you get each and every month. And then the 4th benefit is you eventually own the asset, right? Just like owning a home that you live in, eventually that asset gets paid down. And at that point, again, now your cash flow goes up even more because guess what? Now you no longer have to pay interest expense. And guess what? If you decide to sell it, geez, you've got a very, very valuable asset. You don't need to own a bunch of assets to achieve a good net worth. We actually just did a cash out refi on a few buildings that we own, a few smaller, like 3 to 6 unit buildings. And I'll just, be frank, it's astounding to see how much some of the asset values have gone up. And I'm talking about like a 3-family that we paid $210,000 for back in 2014, now being worth $750,000. That's not even why we bought the assets. We didn't really, when we bought the assets, me and my partners, we were thinking, oh, let's get cash flow to help us survive, to help get us off the real estate roller coaster. And all of a sudden now the assets have a lot of value that you can then use. You can pull out tax-free and then you can invest in other assets. This is kind of the power of multifamily, any real asset that you own, especially when it comes to real estate. But again, why is this important? Well, it's really important for real estate agents more than anybody else. Because you know what? Like if you work, you could work a job, you could work a W-2 job, and you get guaranteed, you get paid every couple weeks, every month, or every week potentially. In a lot of cases, you've got a 401k plan. You might even have a pension. You might have some sort of retirement plan. You might have some sort of match system with your company. And it's a lot easier to get to retirement as somebody who's a W-2 than just a real estate agent who sells houses. But then in terms of getting financially free, like even that is typically the path for that is easier. Now, most Americans who work W-2 jobs are not saving a ton of money, but a good amount of them are contributing to their retirement account. They may be in a job where there's a pension. They may work a government job, right? There's a lot of different ways to kind of get at least to retirement age. A lot of real estate agents, if you kind of like look around left and right, they sell houses like forever, like they never retire. And we're not just talking about, getting to a normal retirement. I mean, I hope that's why everybody who's listening to this is listening, isn't just trying to get to retirement. I hope you're not looking to grind, and then at age 65, you get to retire. No, I hope, and I would assume that if you're listening to this, like you want to get there a lot faster. You want to have $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 of passive income coming in every month in 5 years, which is a very achievable goal, right? If you follow the agent investor model. So, if you're listening right now, just a couple of points that I want to make is that number one, like just selling real estate, the odds of you ever retiring, the odds of you retiring well, the odds of you getting off the real estate roller coaster by just selling real estate are very, very low. There's a tiny, tiny fraction of real estate agents that ever do it. And again, don't take my word for it. You're listening to me. You probably have some trust in me, but look around, open your eyes and look around and ask, hey, what real estate agents that are working right now in my company, in my office, are financially free from selling real estate? All right. And then think, how many people do I know that are very well off financially, and what percentage of them invest in real estate? And when I talk about all of this stuff, the agent investor model doesn't say stop selling real estate. It doesn't say quit your job. It says every single week, blend the two, combine the two. Don't just sell real estate. Learn how to get those fix and flip opportunities. Take the big chunks of income from those fix and flip opportunities and either invest it into somebody else's asset to get a rate of return, or invest it into your own assets over the long haul. So everything I just said is very doable. We've had, countless people that are on the path of following this model. And it's something that you can move as fast as you want, or you can go as slow as you want, but you don't need to spend, 30, 40, 50 hours a week on this path to get there. So I hope that everybody that's listened understands, and that it makes sense, and that I can get you on board to start investing in real estate and combining your agent business. Because again, most of you are going to come across these deals by accident. So take advantage of them. Make sure you're earning those big chunks of income. But, again, last most important step is making sure that you're investing in real estate over the long haul. So if you're interested in doing more of that, make sure you jump on my next call at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com.